Hello, I think I'm happy to be live with my tribe, my followers, my friends today. How are you guys doing? Maybe I wait one more minute to see if I'll have you guys join us. So, how's your day been? And most importantly, how has your growth process been thus far? Personal growth. How's it been? Okay, and your plan. It's June already. It's just half of, we're just into the sixth month of the year, and we have 6 months to go. 6 months to the end of the year 2021. How far have you grown? How much of your goals, your aspirations, you know, have you achieved? It is very important. Today we'll be talking about a very important topic, even as I take you through the personal growth series. Okay, and I get a lot of questions. I get a lot of people ask me about personal growth and why it is so important, why I'm so passionate about personal growth. You see, I realized over time that personal growth is key to you and I fulfilling our purpose or reaching our potential as God has mandated us to do. My name is Stephen Adetolu, and I am proud to let you know that I am a John Maxwell Team certified coach, trainer, and speaker. I've been trained by John Maxwell to add value to lives, and I'm just passionate about personal growth. You see, prior to now, my life, I'm a person of faith, and most times you hear me, my intervention is laden with divinity. Okay, I believe that you cannot become outside God. Every man who desires true success, not the political success, not success that is built around materialism, possession of things and all of that. No, not that kind of success. True success is divine. True success is you identifying why you were created and fulfilling it. I'll always use the scriptures for an example, because that is what connects us to divinity. And the scriptures in the book of Genesis tells us that God mandated, He ordered, He instructed, us to be fruitful, to multiply, to subdue, and to dominate. So for me, everything that I do as a transformational coach is hinged around the fact that God mandated us to be fruitful. See, He likened us to a seed. He likened us to a plant. And a seed does not, first, inside that seed lies a forest, but it is only a seed. But inside it lies a forest. It means that seed has the potential of becoming a forest. But the seed is not going to become that forest until certain, it receives certain conditioning such as the right soil, the right manure, the right care, the right attention, the right water. Okay, because if you water that particular seed with an acidic water, of course it's not going to it's not going to flourish. So it requires all of these. And when the water is in excess, what really happens? It also affects the seed growth process. So just imagine you and I becoming fruitful. Why did God mandate us, you and I, to be fruitful? Why did He liken you and I to become uh, fruitful like a seed? We're told that Malaysia, for instance, is one of the highest producer of palm oil today, and we're told that the first seed that was planted in Malaysia was gotten from Nigeria. It was only a seed. It was not as if they went with the entire tree or the entire forest of palm trees that they have there. No, just a seed. And today they are, reckoned in the world as a major producer of palm oil. That's big, man. And God mandated you and I to be fruitful. It means God deposited something inside of us and He expects us to be fruitful. I'm still responding to the question that a lot of people ask me about personal growth. And in order for this seed to become like the Malaysia oil palm plantation that eventually made them number one producer of oil palm in the world, it also means that you and I have that potential. Don't forget, the seed has the potential of becoming a forest. A seed has the potential of becoming an oil palm plantation that will eventually make a country, renowned for its products, or produce, as the case may be. The same is applicable to you and me. It means, and unfortunately, you see a lot of people likening the fruitfulness of man to giving birth to children. Yeah, why we cannot dispute that. But God's mandate, God's original plan goes beyond children. Just imagine if we're restricted to just giving birth to children. Maybe there wouldn't be space for so many of us today for, and all of that. Just imagine if being fruitful is just about giving birth to children, then it means there will be no aeroplane, there will be no helicopter, there will be no telephone. There will be no most of the basic amenities. In fact, the phone, the internet connectivity that we use to do this live broadcast will not be there, because ordinarily it's just restricted to giving birth to children. Alas, God's plan is for us to be productive. And how do you become productive? You become productive by using what God has given you right inside. He's giving you the talents. He's deposited something inside of you. And that thing is raw from the Almighty God. And this is where personal growth comes in. And I'm responding to some of these questions. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want you guys to start embracing the concept of personal growth. Okay, Malaysia is reckoned as one of the world's most prosperous oil palm producing nation today, because they considered, or they give the right ingredients to the nurturing of that oil palm seedling that they purportedly got from Nigeria. They nurtured it and they make strategic plans, intentional plans, and today this is where they are. Don't forget, they got it from Nigeria, but Nigeria isn't reckoned as, number one. So there must have been something that Malaysia did that Nigeria did not do. And that is what happens when you embrace the concept of personal growth. And I hope you guys understand the analogy I'm trying to make today. Malaysia adapted the concept of growth. They were deliberate about becoming what they are today, from the seedling they got from Nigeria and all of that. The same principle applies to you and I. Okay? And this is where the concept of personal growth comes in. You and I have talents deposited in us. God deposited his talents in us, and he mandated us to go out there and be fruitful. Like Malaysia, what is expected of us is to do what? To develop the talents he's given us, to develop our thinking faculty, to be effective, to make a difference in the world, to contribute to the creation process in the world, to solve problems, to be relevant, to be significant. And in order for you to become all of these, what do you need to do? You need to grow. You need to grow. How do you grow? How do you grow? How do you grow? You expose yourself. You stretch yourself. The reason why we go to school, for instance, people go to school because they want to broaden their horizon. The reason why some people are specialized in mathematics today is because they understand their gifting and they proceeded, to expanding it, and not just expanding it, but they are impacting. They are using the mathematical knowledge and some other knowledge that other people have acquired to advance, their area of specialization. That in itself is growth, and that is why you must embrace the concept of personal growth. Personal growth is a deliberate attempt, at developing your talents, aligning it to your passion and your skills in order for you to make significant impact to the world and reach your potential. God's desire for you and I is to live an abundant life. The scripture again tells us that he came that we may have life and live it to the fullest. This implies that God's original intention, don't forget, he also tells us in his word that his plans for us are plans of good and not for evil. No wonder he says, he who does not work should not eat. What does it mean? God expects us to labor. And in order to labor, it means you have to grow, because how would you develop your skills? How would you grow? In order to get promoted from a particular level to a higher level, it's not just going to happen by the number of years you have spent in an organization. No, it's going to happen because there are specific contributions that you've made to that organization to solve a specific problem that organization has been battling with, for instance. And what gives you that capacity to solve that specific problem, that earned you that recognition, is your ability to grow. Little wonder why a lot of people don't have that special skills. That's what makes you unique. And which is why you see in organizations, you see certain group of people understand this concept and they keep growing. I bet you, if you graduated from the university 20 years ago and you've not developed your skills, perhaps you're an engineer, for instance, you graduated 20 years ago, you've not developed your skills, you are still buried in the knowledge you acquired 20 years ago. And I can guarantee you, what you know 20 years ago is no longer relevant today. And a young man who has developed himself, who just graduated, and he's been to one of the world's renowned engineering institute, for instance, and he comes back. You think your level of effectiveness will be the same? No, it's not going to be the same. Why? You don't forget you graduated 20 years ago. This guy just graduated 5 years back. So by virtue of you graduating 20 years ago, it will be said that you have acquired more experience, you are older, and all of that. Okay, but in the concept of personal growth, this guy graduated 5 years ago. Okay, he went for his master's, for instance, may not necessarily be master's, but he went to upgrade his knowledge by attending professional courses in engineering and all of that. This guy has the relevant 21st century skills, okay? For instance, digital skills, okay, in this virtual world that we are now. This guy has that and all of that. You still live in your old-fashioned engineering method. But this guy today can be on the system and arrange meetings virtually and fix problems virtually and all of that. Tell me, who have the upper edge? Of course, this guy, this fresh guy. Why? Because this guy has developed himself. He has grown. This guy that graduated 20 years ago didn't deem it right, didn't deem it essential to keep upgrading. Okay, to keep upgrading. He didn't deem all of those are necessary. And that's the way a lot of us run our lives. We want to grow. We want to become good fathers. We want to become good mothers. We want to become CEOs of our company. We want to grow. We want to be promoted in our career. We want to advance in our career. We want to earn more money, for instance. I think this is the number one aspiration a lot of people have. Want to earn more money. Want to earn more money. Yes, there's nothing wrong in aspiring to earn more money. So we aspire for so many things. These are aspirations. These are potentials. And potential, by virtue of what it is just something you aspire to become. You are not yet there. So in order to become, we miss out the fundamentals, which is personal growth. In order to become that father, that mother, that good father, that man that earns that money, you need to grow. You need to acquire the necessary knowledge to become that person you aspire to be. If you are, for instance, on a supervisory level and you want to become a manager, believe me, your supervisory skill, what you know as a supervisor, is not going to make you a manager. It's not going to make you a successful manager. This is why most organizations have what they call internship and all of that. They train you to become the manager that they want you to be. That is personal growth. And a lot of organizations adapt this. But we, as individuals, we neglect the concept of personal growth. And we neglect it, I believe, because probably we're not aware, or a lot of people don't just care. And for me, my life used to be, because I'm a person of faith, I believe so much in prayers. I believe so much in, I fast a lot, I believe in spirituality and all of that. And I thought all of this is going to bring me that, it's going to enhance my relationship with God. But it's not going to give me that edge that I really desire. I suffered it. Even as a person of faith, as a Christian that I am, I suffered it. It kept me stagnated. And at the end of the day, I started becoming frustrated. I started becoming depressed because I was not growing even where I work. I didn't see myself growing. I see people who are not even as as brilliant, as I am growing. And I discovered what was the problem. You know, as people of faith, as Christians, you might be listening to me. You could be in that same shoe. Look, it goes beyond prayer is good, but I discovered that beside the prayer, you need to add personal growth. You need to make personal growth a priority as well. What prayers does is that it opens your eyes to the kind of skills you would acquire. It opens your eyes to see the problems that no one sees. And it enables you read the books or supernaturally just see yourself attending a particular course. There's a way it's going to propel you to acquire that skills and prepare you for the opportunity that is ahead or that will open up in the future. I realized this. So because I didn't embrace this concept on time, believe me, I almost went to that point of depression, getting frustrated, and which is why I took it upon myself to be an advocate of to be a personal growth evangelist. Well, I want to teach Christians, don't just pray and relax. And I want to ask you, name some of the biggest organizations in the world today. How many Christians do you have heading them, for instance? How many? How many? Did fella Dorothy, emphasized on this? Man, I could not sleep that night. I kept thinking. Because the scripture tells us that we will be the head. That we will be the head. Prior to now, a lot of us Christians used to think being the head is God will just make you automatic head where you work. No, it's not going to happen. And that is where the concept of personal growth comes in. You need to prepare yourself. You need to acquire the necessary skills. You need to adapt personal growth. And personal growth is a mindset. Which brings me to the topic we'll be discussing that I just want to share with you today. Personal growth is an inside-out approach. It's not something that you do externally. I see a lot of people struggle. I don't know. Could it be you? I used to be like that. I struggle, I labor, I work hard, and all of that. Meanwhile, I have to become on the inside before it is experienced on the outside. And what does it mean? It means that I have to adapt a personal growth mentality. It has to be a mindset. It has to be a way of life on the inside. And when I say personal growth happens on the inside, then it means your belief system needs to change. Because, see, if your outward activity do not align with your beliefs, I'm afraid you'll just be sweating. You're sweating and you'll be wasting your time. When there is no correlation between what you are doing on the outside and your belief or your motives. For instance, somebody who is working hard, but in his mind, inside him, he believes that he will not make it, that this job is not going to take him anywhere. Yet he is working. You could see the misconception in his belief system and what he does. And that is what happens when we do not adapt or we do not adapt a growth mindset, a personal growth mindset. It is very important. And when you don't adapt this inside out approach, that your labor will just be in futility. You keep laboring, but your belief system are contrary. I don't know if you are getting me, and all of that. It's just like you are giving somebody money, but your motive for giving the person money is to mock the person. You won't get the blessing for that. That's just it. That's just the way it works. Motive, very, very important. So, a growth mindset entails that you adapt the spirit of learning. The spirit of learning. And the spirit of learning entails that you become teachable. You are open to learning new things. That's what happens. You just tell yourself, I need to know more. And once this mindset is adapted on the inside, it just opens you up to new things. And when it opens you up to new things, you discover that you suddenly start reading books because your subconscious mind will just tell you, hey, you need to know more. You'll be hungry. You'll be hungry for more. You'll be eager to attend courses. There's a spirit behind it. It's a mindset. That's just the way the mind works. So personal growth first happens on the inside. But a lot of us approach it the other way around. We approach it from the outside, and that is where we miss it. So how do you adapt an inside out approach to personal growth? First, you just need to believe in yourself. First, believe that you were created to make an impact. You were not created as a mediocre. No. You were created because you were needed, or you are needed. You are still alive because your services are required in this present day. That's just it. Somebody somewhere needs your experience, needs your skills, needs your help, needs your attention, needs your service. You need to believe. You need to believe that you have what it takes to make a difference in the world. The Bible tells us that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. That's just the truth that you need to adapt. You need to believe it. You need to believe in yourself. That you can do whatever your mind conceives to do. If you have this belief, like I said, it's a spirit, it's a mindset that opens you up. And once it opens you up, it directs you to what you need to do. That's just the way it works. The process of believing in yourself is not going to happen in one night. It's a process. It's a whole lot of process, guys. Because the current belief system that you have did not happen overnight. I don't know how old you are at the moment, but just imagine that your belief system has been built over the last couple of years. That's your age. And if you want to change this belief system, it's not going to happen in one night. It's a process. But you need to be deliberate about it. The most important thing is you need to adapt a new belief. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Two, you need to also adapt a life of service to serve others, not for the money. What I'm doing now was shown or revealed to me by God Himself. I just discovered that I just want to see people laugh. I just want to see people grow. I just want to see people advance. And when I see somebody going the wrong way, even in my place of work and in the course of my everyday life activity, I just will not be silent. I'll just want to call that person and say, hey, no, why don't you do it this way? And God has a way of revealing the better way to me. I will just say, if you do it this way, it's much, much better than. I don't just want to see people suffer. I don't want to see people go the long route of attaining it. And God just shows me that thing, and I just say, please, why don't you? And you know what? I'll be restless until that person follows through and all of that. It's a life of service. We were created to serve. Even Jesus Christ taught us. And He said in the scriptures that whoever wants to be great amongst us must first be a servant to others. Service. The Dangote, the Jeff Bezos, the Stephen Jobs of this world, just name them. What do they have in common? They sell service. They offer solution to the world in the form of service. That's just it. Service is just what you do, what you want to render. It's also a mindset. Once you adapt this mindset, you know what? It opens you up to that area of specific needs. And you just want to be there. And because your mind is opened up, you've adapted this mindset, and you've seen this specific area of needs, there's a way you start coming up with a solution to solve that needs. You just want to serve. Not necessarily for the money. The money is going to come if you understand the concept of service. You start acquiring the necessary skills because you just want to give out value. That's just it. The third thing that I want to tell you, if you want to adapt the inside-out approach to personal growth, is that you need to be humble. You need to humble yourself. God tells us in His Word that if you humble yourself, He's going to bring you up. But humility is misunderstood today, Humility is what enables you to serve. It's a mindset. Humility is what enables you, even as a 50, 60-year-old person who desires to serve. But because you are humble, it makes you teachable. It makes you want to learn. It makes you want to go back to the right institution to acquire the right professional knowledge, to acquire the necessary skills, to learn under somebody even who is not even up to you, to go through some very harsh condition just because you want to acquire something. That's what humility does. In this regard, as it relates to personal growth, adapting the inside-out approach. So that is just it, folks. I just want to share these three nuggets with you so that you start understanding that personal growth happens from the inside to the outside. It is what you are on the inside that builds your character, because your character is not outside. Your character is on the inside. So you need to build it, and that is what produces on the outside. So I want to believe that I have added value to your life this today. If I have, please, I will encourage you to follow me. Doing so is going to encourage me to do more videos, churn out more value laden videos like this. I want to come from time to time, once in a week on Wednesdays, to do live sessions with you. My passion is to see as many people, as many believers, as many people of faith as possible, grow to become the best version of themselves, to become the people that God created them to be. God designed an agenda for our lives. Were it not so, the God that we know, He is a master planner. He wouldn't even allow the sperm fertilize in our mother's womb. No, He will not. But because He has something in mind, and until you and I are able to discover, grow, to live that purpose for which He created us for, honestly, it's going to be very difficult. Pastor Purdue, sometime last week or so, said something that really, really touched me. And he said, what would you say to God if you go back to Him and He asked you what you did with your talent? Would you say to Him that I didn't know what to do with it? What is it? What are you going to tell Him? Remember the story of the five talents? The one with the 5, the one with 2, the one with 1. Well, you know the story. It's something we can analyze and discuss some other time. But I just want to encourage you to embrace the concept of personal growth. This concept, I guarantee you, with God, is going to enable you reach your potential as designed by God Himself. So thank you for watching. I look forward to having you connect with me again subsequently. And by the way, as a John Maxwell team coach, speaker, and trainer, John Maxwell, I have a lot of his resources. I've been licensed to use a lot of his resources. As you know, John Maxwell is the #1 leadership expert authority in the world. Okay, so I have these resources that I use to develop myself. If it doesn't work for me, these resources have been our principles as well have been tested, have been proven and tested, and I see the manifestation in my life, and I'm eager, I'm excited, I'm happy to sharing these principles with you and as many as are willing to become my friends. I just want us to be friends where we grow together, where we become all that God has created us to be. Just imagine a society where we're all living our dreams, we're all living as intended by our Creator. What do you think the world is going to be? Where we are healthier, we are happier, we are prosperous, we live a life of abundance and all of that. That is just my goal. That is my desire, which is why I am doing this. So I actually have what I call an Achievers Mastermind. My mastermind group constitutes of 12 people maximum. Sometimes I get people who just say, please add me up. Maximum 15 people, but usually between 12 and 15 people, okay, in a class, usually held virtually, where we discuss over a period of 5 to 6 weeks. We discuss proven, tested and proven principles that have worked. We give ourselves assignment. We discuss these principles and we identify our gaps for instance, and work, okay, to grow ourselves and to become better people, to become successful people, to become people of value, people of significance. And I've seen massive transformation in the lives of most people, everyone who attends this mastermind. So you may be interested, and I can assure you, you won't regret it. It's the best investment you can ever make in yourself. More so, I made it ridiculously cheap. So if you're interested, just DM me, okay, or check the link in my bio to see how you can subscribe. Then I'll welcome you to a life of fulfillment. So thank you once again for being there. I look forward to connecting with you, and thank you. Let's keep being friends. Bye bye and cheers.